Hi, and welcome to Cooking Time. I'm David Martone, Executive Chef at Classic Thyme in Westfield. And today's show, we're featuring cheap, economical meal based on one simple tomato marinara sauce. We have 4 dishes to make, all very economical. We're going to make a macaroni, a pizza, a stuffed zucchini, and something called eggs in purgatory, all based on one marinara sauce. Join us, you're going to have a whole lot of fun and learn some real cheap, good eating. Hello, and welcome to Cooking Time. I'm David Martone, Executive Chef at Classic Thyme Cooking School here in Westfield. And today, we're celebrating some cheap dishes all based around a simple tomato-based marinara sauce. I'm not brand specific, but today we're using Tutarosso tomatoes, and the reason I'm telling you that is they were recently on sale. And my dad, who's 80 years old, who has nothing but time on his hands, constantly shops for me and catches all the sales. So while this is normally about $2 for a can, I think he got a bunch of them. When I say a bunch of them, I'm talking about like 17 cases of them. He goes into the supermarket and he'll say, "Sir, there's a limit of 4. He'll put 40 of them in his carriage and he'll go up and he'll say, "Listen, I'm 80 years old. Got nothing but time on my hands. You can see me 20 times and I'll annoy you 20 times, or you can ring me up all at once." Either way, he always shows up with tons and tons of tomatoes when they're on sale, also paper towels, toilet paper. It's really our staples that we go through: a ton of paper towels, a ton of tomatoes, and olive oil, of course. So we're going to make this simple marinara sauce, and we're going to use it for a variety of things. We're going to chop up some garlic, and I'm simply just crushing down the garlic a little bit to flatten it out so it doesn't shoot all over my cutting board when I chop it up. I buy my garlic already chopped, and I try and buy garlic that comes out of California. Comes out of Gilroy, California. You have to be careful because garlic that comes out of other parts of the world really going to have an off taste, and we're really watching food that comes out of other parts of the world at this point, because there's been a lot of problems with contaminations and different quality issues. So the garlic comes in a container. It's marked that it comes from Gilroy, California. If not, just buy some bulbs of garlic, peel them, and then we're just going to simply chop them up real quick. And we're going to start some olive oil sauteing in a wide pan. We'll get that going now. Heat our pan up. The wider the pan, the quicker this will actually cook. If you cook it in a sauce pot like this, it'll take a bit longer to cook. So we're looking for a quick cooking time, and that's what it's really all about with marinara sauce. Marinara sauce should cook really just for about 15 minutes. Very fresh sauce. It's my all-purpose sauce. We probably eat it a couple of times a week. We use it on anything from a dipping sauce to macaroni, which you might call pasta, to pizza, to just about anything else where you need a quick tomato-based sauce. So we've got our olive oil going. Use the back of your knife when you're scraping, because that will help to preserve the edge of the knife. When you scrape across the board with the knife edge, what's going to happen is you're going to prematurely dullen the blade, and you're going to need to have it sharpened more frequently. And more importantly, you're going to have issues with perhaps slipping off what you're trying to cut and cutting into something you don't want to cut. Never ever burn the garlic. If the garlic burns, you've only used pennies worth of garlic and olive oil here. So throw it out and start over. The garlic has to be golden brown or soft and tender, kind of translucent. But if it darkens too much, it will make the entire dish bitter. So don't worry about doing it too fast. Let that garlic cook a little bit slower. For one of the dishes that we're going to do with this marinara sauce, we're going to need a piece of toasted bread. So I'm slicing up a little piece of bread on the bias. I have some olive oil and a little brush. You just want to brush this bread lightly with some oil. We also do this same type of bread and brush it with oil when we're making paninis, which I can do in the same pan. I'm going to brush both sides. What I'm going to do is heat up a grill pan here. I'm making a double batch today. Normally I use just 1 can of tomatoes. This is a 35-ounce can. I sometimes use a 28-ounce can. Either size will be sufficient enough to sauce an entire pound of macaroni. See, the garlic is getting slightly golden here, but I'm being careful not to allow it to color too much. Because again, the pieces that are cut a bit smaller will burn up faster, and if they get very dark brown or black, it's going to make the entire dish bitter. I think we're about good here. Be careful when you pour this in, because it does have a tendency to splash. But if you pour it in quickly, it'll give you one quick splash, and then you'll get that initial burst of sizzle. Putting in my second can here. As you can see, these are whole plum tomatoes. I'm going to raise my heat up a bit. I want to get this simmering nicely. Once this starts to simmer a little bit, then I can get in there and I can start to break up these tomatoes. See if my grill pan is hot. Get our bread toasted nicely. Now, one of the things we're going to do with this tomato sauce is we're going to poach a few different things in it. We have a number of things we want to do with it. I need to take a zucchini, and what I want to do is stuff the zucchini. It's a great dish I came upon in Italy this summer while eating at a little restaurant, which is kind of a favorite place I have in Rome. Not like I travel to Rome all the time, but the last 2 times I was there, ate there several times, and it was wonderful. So I cut both ends off my zucchini, and then I'm going to cut this zucchini into 3 pieces, actually. Want to take a peek at my bread. Still toasting nicely. Now, you can use either a paring knife or a vegetable peeler. And what I want to do is I want to take out all the seeds. So by using the vegetable peeler, it's already rounded. So I can stick this in all the way around. And then do it on the opposite side so that you're cutting all the way through. And eventually I'll be able to dig out all the seeds in the center of the zucchini. With the paring knife, you would just go all the way around. And then I sometimes use my finger or the back of a wooden spoon to push out the seeds from one end to the other. Then I'll take my vegetable peeler, and then I can get right in there and scoop everything out from that zucchini. We have a perfect little vehicle to add our stuffing. I'll just do the other couple. Our sauce is just starting to come to a simmer, which means those tomatoes will soften up and it'll make the job. See this, how it just pushes right out? And again, I have this nice little hollow zucchini. Okay. Move this around a little bit. I'm already starting to get those wonderful aromas of the garlic and the tomatoes. A little bit more toasted on that side. I'll cut this last one. This is such a cheap dish. If you combine the fact that you buy these tomatoes on sale, even if you're not getting them on sale, think about $2 for a can of tomatoes, and then a couple of cloves of garlic, a few little sprigs of basil, and a pound of macaroni, which is about another $1.49. You've got a very, very cheap yet fresh meal that you'll be serving to your family.